So this was recorded before they announced the Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 edition and the update. Um, Most of these ideas are different. Some are the same, but I really felt like there was a lot of work put into this video, and I didn't want to just discard it, especially with having a special guest on. It was definitely worth it. So I believe this video still is worth hearing and listening to because there is going to be another Animal Crossing. We don't know when, probably a little bit longer than we anticipated in this video, but I still think it's worth it. So please stay tuned. We got some great ideas of what could be coming to a potential new Animal Crossing. Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Network. Animal Crossing is one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, and this is without going into the incredibly lucky timing of New Horizons. Releasing at the exact same time when a global pandemic started, and we were all too scared to leave our houses, let's create an island paradise all on our own. I'm not saying it wouldn't be in the top 10 of the best-selling Switch games, but I don't think it would have been number 2 like it currently is, and I doubt it will ever be dethroned. But this is not what the video is about. Each Animal Crossing game has innovated the series in one way or another. Mostly great, and then there is one particular side game that really almost killed the franchise. But with the Switch 2 and 5 years plus since New Horizon, theoretically we should be getting another Animal Crossing game relatively soon within the next few years. With each system, ignoring the Wii U as most people do, we've gotten a new mainline game since its introduction in the US on the GameCube. The first Animal Crossing established the series in the foundation. Wild World for the DS was the first portable game in the series and made the town one map, unlike the original where it was each acre had to load when you went to the next one. Although, admittedly, I like that feature a lot more in the original. Wild World also introduced a staple in the series moving forward, online multiplayer and visiting each other's towns. City Folk for the Wii expanded the world into the city area. It also introduced Wii Speak microphone. I think I used it once to test it out with Matt, and then never touched it again. New Leaf for the 3DS gave you more control than ever before by being the mayor, allowing you to choose path, bridges, and more. It also introduced fan favorite Isabelle. And lastly, New Horizon introduced a lot from terraforming the island, crafting 8 players playing together in your town or island, and post-launch updates and the events that, the post-launch situation will be discussed in this video later on. So with the Switch 2 setting a foundation for upgrading series to another level, look at Donkey Kong Bonanza, I feel like there are some big changes coming to Animal Crossing, and I wanted to discuss what I feel should or even could come to a Switch 2 Animal Crossing game. But before we dive in, I wanted to add a little piece into the conversation. My daughter Colette loves Animal Crossing and has put in more hours into New Horizon than I even have. She's been itching to have a spot on the channel, so today I'm introducing Colette's Corner, where I hand over the mic to her and get a different perspective on what she wants from a new game in the series. And welcome to Colette's Corner. I'm going to hand the microphone off to Colette, and she's going to explain her ideas, what she thinks should be brought to a brand new Animal Crossing for the Nintendo Switch 2. Take it over, Colette.
So my first idea is you are swimming in the ocean and you come upon a mysterious island and you get new materials. Like you can get sand, brick, glass, and plastic to rebuild the little shops, and as you rebuild the shops, you get more visitors on the island, and they will build their potential homes there, and they'll live at this little mysterious island, and you can swim to other islands. I think this should just be off the island, not on the island. Be in the ocean, and you should have free range of where to swim and not have borders, because sometimes I get a little upset of having the borders, and it would just be nice to have something that's outside the borders and that you could go and actually swim to a mysterious island and go there.
Okay, what else you got?
So I think Animal Crossing, the island idea is cute, but I have an even better idea. A city. It should be Animal Crossing City. There could be new shops. There could be a hotel instead of the campsite where the Animal Crossing, like you invite amiibos,
Okay.
and they can come to the hotel instead of being at the campsite, and they can have their stay, and there's a little hotel and they can stay there and you can check them on their rooms. And I think that just like be a little cute idea for the Animal Crossing city. Also a hospital, like in, oh, what is it?
Hospital as in what?
The Paradise Planning. They have a little hospital, and you could basically recreate that and put it on your island. Why not Paradise Planning just have that? Why doesn't the whole actual like city or island have it?
Okay.
That would be cool. And then different types of stores. Nook's Cranny is nice because they offer a variety of different things. And also Label Sisters does too, but they just sell clothes. There should be different types of shops that you can do.
Okay.
Like coffee shops, or like, I know there's coffee shop in the museum, but there could be even
The
more.
Roost.
The Roost, but it's good to have competition so you could have a whole bunch of different stores, and then you can go to different stores for different varieties of things to get. Like if there's a whole furniture store, you could get furniture, clothes. There could be a whole place with lights.
Okay.
And you could get lights or shoes. I think that would be nice. You could also have jobs. You could sign up to have a job at the hotel or the hospital or store. And here's one of my favorite ones. Make your own shop. You can go to Tom Nook and you can say, I would like to make my own shop. And you could tell, let's say it's a coffee shop, and you design it, and you could hit the thing coffee shop, and it will pop up like all the furniture and accessories for like a little coffee shop, and then you could build off of that, and you can keep improving it, and then your island visitors will come and they will want to work there, so you can evaluate them. And then like if they're making coffee, for our example, you could test on how good they make the coffee, and then you taste it. If it tastes burnt, then they're not going to be a good employee. If it tastes okay, they might be a good employee, might be or might not be. If it tastes amazing and it's the perfect temperature, then you're hiring them and they can look after your store and you can get bells from them. But you also have to improve the store as you go, so that you start in a small little like shaggy old building, like your first house in Animal Crossing. Be that, but just run down like the flickering lights and the spider webs. You have to clean it up and make it nice, so that actually people will attract to it, so that they can get what product you have.
Okay.
Scuba diving, to go underwater and see underwater creatures. I think that we can swim and we can just dive to get the little bubbling holes in the down. But I also think you could also go under, and you could see all the other sea creatures like turtles or jellyfish. All those are in the little black holes, but you can't really see them. And I think you should have the ability to actually go under and see them.
Okay. Scuba diving, that's cool.
Turn the ocean into an ice skating pond in the wintertime only.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard me. We all know that the ocean stays the ocean, obviously, during the wintertime, but I think it should be turned into a huge ice skating pond. You could buy ice skates from Nook's Cranny, and they would be only a limited time only, and they could be at Label Sisters, and they could be at any other shop, and they could be at Nook's Cranny. You buy them, and then you can go out and you can be in the water, but it's frozen on top. But which means that they would have to move the other animals and creatures that are under the water. They would have to be in different months, except for the winter months. The winter months they could not be under there because it is frozen.
Makes sense.
Also, you could probably take your axe and chop it if you want to do some ice fishing, but maybe not.
It could be fun.
Yes. New rooms in the museum. I know the museum has bugs, and they have fish, and they have art and fossils. They recently added art, and they added the coffee shop just a couple years ago, but I think a new one should be good, like technology, or on how like they can make a little exhibit on how Animal Crossing was made and give some history in there. And I think that could be a smart idea on how Animal Crossing was made, and you could like little Animal Crossing secrets in there. You could discover the city or island, and you come across the little secret, and then you would donate to the museum, and then it would become a display, and then you can also learn things from it too, which I think would be really cool. Having a pool to swim in, but only in the summertime. A lot of people try to recreate pools, but they can't really just swim in them. It's just like tiles from the custom designs, and that's not really like fun. I made one, and I put a waterfall next to it, so it's like a little waterfall and then a pool, but I'm still not happy with it, and I wish I could actually just like swim in it. So I'm thinking like they could ask Tom Nook and they could pay the loan to have a pool, and then you could have the public pool, but it would only be in the summertime. Only in the summertime.
Okay.
Having a movie theater. I think that would be really cool. There could be little movies of all the characters on Island. It could be a movie on Isabelle, Tom Nook. Be Tom Nook founding the island and starting it, the city. We could also bring back some old characters like Tortimer. There could be a whole movie about Tortimer, or a whole bunch of other old characters. I don't know the names, but I do know what they look like. And I think that would be just really cool to have like little mini movies, and then you build the movie theater, then you go in and you can invite your island people to come.
Okay.
And you could get popcorn and little candy, and you can sit down in the movie theater and watch the little thing. And I think that would be really cute. And I love that.
Alright. Any other ideas?
Nope, that's all my ideas, and I think they are brilliant and amazing.
Well, they sound like fun. Thank you, Colette. Some great ideas from the mind of one of the key audiences, kids. I also want to thank her for recording footage for the video on her newer island that she's made. Now for the ideas from a guy who just loves video games. First off, I want more animals. There are around 35 different species that can be a villager on your island or town. They include alligators, cows, frogs, koalas, pigs, rabbits, lions, goats, cubs, anteaters, bears, deers, gorillas, monkeys, rhinos, sheep, mice, hamster, dog, bird, bull, duck, hippos, octopus, squirrels, tigers, ostriches, horses, eagles, cats, chickens, elephants, kangaroos, penguins, and wolves. I think we can expand on that even further. Before looking at even brand new animals, we could start looking at NPC animal species that have never gotten to be a villager yet. Owls, pelicans, turtles, alpacas, giraffes, skunks, and so much more. The base models have already been created. You could have a hedgehog that is a distant cousin from the Able sisters and talk about them constantly, and even have you do tasks more revolving around clothes and fashion. I know people would go nuts for this type of stuff. Tie them back to their original NPCs and all the better. Animal Crossing's characters are pretty hollow. No real true depth behind them or backstory. I feel that needs to change. And honestly, I'm all for maybe a couple of species of dinosaurs in my town. Imagine the reaction in the museum. Grandpa, no! Next, I'm pretty much done with the whole island thing. Odd to say that after stating I wanted dinosaurs, so an island would be appropriate, but I stand by this statement. The island idea gave the players a sense of isolation. Again, worked well in the timing of the world with New Horizons. But I want the world to be more connected. And I think the technology is there to have what I'm dubbing the neighbor system. So in this, two players can state that they are neighbors in-game. Both have to agree, of course. This would connect their worlds, so let's say Colette and I become neighbors with the system. There is now an entrance or a tunnel or bridge or something that connects our two towns. So even if I'm not playing, Colette can come over to my town, check out the shops, villagers, fruits, etc. There are still limited things that the neighbors can do. You can't cut down trees, remove decor, and that stuff, unless you authorize it. Options are always a good thing in games, and so if I trust my daughter, then sure, go for it. I mean, I don't, and she's not going to be able to cut my stuff down, but still. But she can submit items into the museum and vice versa. But the connection can go even deeper still. Let's say I have oranges as my native fruit, and Colette has peaches. After connecting, I will see a peach tree start to sprout up. Flowers that she's planted will start to bloom in my town, and the villagers themselves will go deeper in this new system. By becoming a neighbor, you are now in the same world, so residents in your town cannot overlap. So let's say we become neighbors and we both have Molly the duck in our towns. Upon confirmation of the neighbor system, we will have to decide together where Molly will land as her main home. But you could, if you wanted to, have Molly have a summer home in your town, or a timeshare condo on the beach. So every so often she comes to stay at my town, but she freely roams between the two. But time to expand this even further. You can have up to so many neighbors. The amount's hard to tie down. I would think 6 to 10 seem fair. And say Matt can be a neighbor with Colette and myself. Planned properly, you could have all 10 neighbors connected as a huge connected world. Let's say you have a neighbor who's in a different area of the world whose fish and insects are different. Well, all the better. And I know what you're thinking about. How does this work or make any logical sense? How does the space-time continuum not break?
There's a simple explanation for that.
This can be a huge draw into the game's core features. Animal Crossing is all about connecting, right? So let's connect deeper than ever before. Up next, I want villagers to be better. And what I mean is they are pretty boring. I vividly remember the original Animal Crossing where I was running around doing more and more errands for them. This felt so much more natural than what we have been getting in more recent Animal Crossings. They just talk, and then nothing. I don't know, perhaps I'm seeing things through rose-colored glasses, but villagers meant more back in the day. Oh my goodness, I just said back in the day. But this can easily connect into the neighbor system. Say I have Cube in my town. Well, he says Gruff from Matt's town has a new shirt design he's just dying to see. But being as this villager is as lazy as all get out and demands you do everything, he asks you to go to the neighboring town to find Gruff. You go get the design and then you get a reward. Of course, you can easily get distracted along the way. Again, this makes the villagers feel more alive and leans into the neighbor system. Up next, activities. The bug and fishing contests are great, but honestly, I think we need more, and not just on the weekends. Again, with the neighboring system, what about a huge roaming game of hide-and-go-seek throughout all the towns? For myself, that sounds like a really fun idea. Next, I would like more crossover villagers. It was cool to get the Mario collection, but did you know in New Leaf, after an update Welcome Amiibo, you could scan certain amiibos to get special villagers? Now, it was pretty limited, with the Squid Sisters from the original Splatoon becoming squirrels, and an Inkling becoming an octopus, and even some from The Legend of Zelda. I could have had Ganon as a villager. I'm sorry, what was that now? I want this, and we need it expanded. You have a Turtle Mario envy, and his house is decked out in Mario gear. There are a few issues I can find with this, though. First off, locking them behind amiibo, that's something I'm not a fan of. I'm okay with them being easier to unlock via amiibo or amiibo cards. But 100% placing content behind amiibo only is something I can never have or will ever defend. Secondly, if it is limited, then everyone will want Wolf Link in their town. And with the neighbor system, that just can't happen, right? I mean, he can have a timeshare condo, but it's not the same. So this idea would work better when making more crossover villagers and even making them special villagers. Only one special villager per town. I know this seems limited, but this is probably the best way to have our cake and eat it too. Next up, town customization. And with each new entry, we have gotten more and more, but I still feel limited. If I want to make my town called Bridge Haven and I have dozens of bridges all along the river, then why not? If I want to mess with the ecosystem, I should have the right. Now, I'm okay with Isabel and the condo board HOA saying there are issues and the residents aren't happy and town ratings go on and blah blah blah. But again, my town, my rule. Let us have all the fun we can. Now for the museum. We got fish, insects, fossils, and paintings. I feel like this could be expanded a bit. Imagine a bird exhibit. Yes, I agree, but it can work. Instead of collecting them, there are bird watching features. You get a pair of binoculars and notate the birds you find. Take the findings to Blathers and he gets all the information. The next day, he says thanks for your research and he placed out the perfect food for this bird and it came to the museum's bird sanctuary. Expand digging to be not just fossils but certain minerals and gemstones. This can add even more to the collection part, which is always a favorite part of mine. More dinosaurs? Heck, even maybe have the displays be custom made. I can recreate this from Jurassic Park. Or have young and adult dinosaur skeletons and we can put them together. And as I'm writing this section, the idea just came to me. You can more freely create the whole sections of more custom museums, so going back to the neighbor system, each museum ends up being so unique. Maybe add some museum competition somehow. To go along with more to collect in the museums, I think each town should have caves to explore, spelunk, and get gemstones items, maybe some underground watering holes for fish and such. Again, adding to exploration. Started out small, but you can pay for it to grow for more exploration. And the last thing, and this is very important, is post-launch content. And for a game like this, we need free post-launch content. Now, something like Happy Home Paradise is alright down the line, just don't announce it before the base game is released. But adding additional items, special collections that coordinate with new games that get released, cross-promotion, and synergy. It seems like there was a constant flow at the start of New Horizons. I'm not saying a blowout of new things each month, but a steady trickle to keep us interested in wanting more and more. Twice a year, a huge update of stuff. To map out a full post content on a game isn't easy per se. So I don't want to try it, as there are many variables, including this being an eventual game that we know is coming down the line, but we know nothing about. These ideas do not seem too outlandish, not too out there, and expectations are mostly mild. Animal Crossing is a series that is beloved by many, and I think it's about time they step up a little higher than they have in the past. The Switch 2 is a powerhouse, in comparison for Nintendo, and truly the neighbor system could be a game changer. Thank you for tuning into the Nintendo Network. What ideas did you enjoy, or what are some of your own ideas for a brand new Animal Crossing? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and join me on my Discord. This is the Nintendo Network, signing off.